Richard Crouse.
All right, in conversation with the great Richard Crouse, talking about movies this weekend, and there's a couple of good ones and maybe one that's not so good.
You say that every week.
I know. How's that for a generic opening?
Well, this week I'll start off by telling you about the movie that kind of everyone's talking about. It's Arthur. And Arthur is Russell Brand in a remake of the 30-year-old Dudley Moore movie.
Right.
And I got to tell you, maybe Andy will hold that. There we go.
Oh,
I got to tell you, this movie isn't much of an improvement on the original. In fact, it's not an improvement at all, but it's not a complete waste of time either. And your enjoyment of Arthur is going to be directly linked to your enjoyment of Russell Brand. If you can take that sort of Brit speak verbal diarrhea thing that he does, which he does for the first hour of this movie, if you like that, then you'll probably like this movie. If not, you're probably not going to like it very much.
I found it interesting, though, talking to my kids and some younger people, just how few of them remember the original.
Yeah, it's too bad because it's probably never been easier to find than it is right now because it's, on demand, it's on DVD, it's on Blu-ray, all that kind of stuff. You can see it easily now, probably more easily than you could when it came out 30 years ago when it was playing in one movie theater, 20 blocks from your house. But I'll tell you, Helen Mirren, pretty good in this thing. It's worth it to see her wearing a Darth Vader mask.
Yes.
That's her first real comedic role that I've seen her in a very long time. And there's a woman in it named Greta Gerwig. And Greta Gerwig has the Liza Minnelli role, the poor girl that he falls in love with. And I'll tell you, she brings the heart to this movie, and she's one of the main reasons to see this.
I read about her. She's kind of a bit of an indie queen.
Totally. She made all these movies called mumblecore movies. Yep. And, movies that were made for $10,000. And then she's made the leap into much larger budget movies, and she's great.
Question. Are you impressed that I knew that she was an indie style?
A little bit.
Will that cement my place in your heart as a bon vivant and a raconteur?
That's it, and I put a little check mark next to your name under the indie cred.
Okay, so up first Arthur, up next, what else?
Well, there's a bunch of stuff opening. Born to be Wild 3D. Listen, if you, like me, cannot resist baby anything, like baby elephants, baby orangutans, baby any
seals?
Small animal, go see this movie. It's 3D, and it's about these two women, one in Borneo and one in Kenya, who rescue orangutans and elephants and raise them and then release them back into the wild. And incredibly photographed. It's only 40 minutes long. It's a real true IMAX movie. Narrated, of course, by Morgan Freeman.
Yep.
And it's good stuff for the whole family, although I think little kids might be a little freaked out as to why these babies are orphans. There's some kind of the way of nature stuff that maybe small kids might have a little bit of trouble with.
What about the movie Hanna?
Hanna is the movie that I'd pay to see this weekend. Hanna is the story of Eric Bana. He's an ex-CIA agent. They're living in the remotest part of Finland. And when we first meet him and his daughter, played by Saoirse Ronan, who's the young girl from Atonement and Lovely Bones, he is teaching her how to be a trained assassin, essentially. And it's because eventually the big bad CIA people are going to come after her, and he wants her to be able to protect herself. And of course, that happens. And, the thing is, it's not exactly an action movie. It's more like a coming-of-age story. This young girl has been raised in a very remote place for her entire life. So when she gets out into the world, she's kind of like an alien. She's never heard music before. She's never seen electricity, all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of interesting to see her go through all this. Saoirse Ronan is terrific. She is the new Meryl Streep. She can do accents. She's from Ireland. I interviewed her a while ago. And when I first met her, I said, nice to see you. And she's like, oh, thanks very much. In this crazy Irish accent.
Wow.
But yet, on screen, she has never used that accent. She's played Scottish people. She's played American people, English people. Now she's got a German accent in this, so she is kind of like a mini Meryl Streep. She's terrific in this movie. And this, I think, is a really exciting kind of Euro thriller, kind of like Run, Lola, Run.
And that, my friends, is our time with Richard Crouse.
The great.
I don't know about you, but when the Crouse speaks, I listen. The words mesmerize come to mind. Mesmerize is only one word. And I thank you for making me part of your little video.
Thank you, Humble Howard.
Richard Crouse.